This is 4 a.m. Talks podcast. I'm your host Manoj Velu. You're listening to the 4 a.m. Talks podcast. So, welcome back to this brand new episode. I'm Manoj Velu here, going to tell you stories on various topics, and with the hope that you would go back and reflect and become better. That is our motive. So, before we get into this topic, I just wanted to wish you good luck on your dreams that you're going after, and please try to understand that it is the most important thing for you in your life. You have that in your mind because you should understand why you're here, for what reason you're working, for what drives you and everything. So that is important, but at the same time you need to keep reflecting back. I always tell this in all the episodes, so you need to keep reflecting back. With this of reflecting back, I would like to talk about the topic called being, understanding the smallest of the details and becoming better, getting the things done. So what does reflection of whatever you have done, the review of whatever you have done can do is you will try to understand the smallest of the details on what went right and what went wrong. This is key, because if you just go and play a game, let's say for an example, let's take John Carpenter. He is a football player. He goes out there and he plays with his team and he comes back, and then he goes after the next match and he goes there and he plays and he comes. If he keeps playing and if he's not reflecting on whatever he's doing, where will he go? Even though there is a clear path, if you don't review whatever you have done, you may get lost even though the path is clear. Let me say this one more time. People may not understand this. They know this, but they're not clear of what they really do or what they wanted to do. So let me give you an example. So John Carpenter, as I said he's a football player. He goes out there and he plays and he comes back. He has to reflect back on the game. How did it go? Irrespective of the result is the end game. Let's say it's the end part. What is the process? What are the things that went right? Why did it go as per plan? Was the opposition not prepared for whatever they have come and the strategy worked out, or it's just that the momentum that is carrying them forward and the opposite team are just not in that game in that moment and it went to their favor? So what are those things? And if you have not performed that well in that situation, what are the few things that you can take positives from that game? And why did it become a success? Like the strategy, why did it become, even though you failed, that particular part was a huge success for you? Why? The opposition was too strong, but the team which lost had some strategy which worked for a while. Why did it work? And now comes the harder part, that is to look at your weaknesses or the things which you have not done well. So John Carpenter goes out there and he reviews this, and if he says, okay, these are the weaknesses. Let's say for example, he's not quick enough. He's not able to run faster, and he's not able to position himself to make sure that his team is right there and the ball goes there is a movement where the ball moves freely, and there's a chance of you getting ahead of the game than your opponent. The opponent will try to do the same. The process and the team formation and the mindset of the team is always the difference that you would always see in the game. So this is John Carpenter's story. Let me give you a real lifetime example so that you will understand this better. The late Kobe Bryant, the favorite Kobe Bryant, When he started out, you all know the failure that he went through. He shot 4 air balls. He was not in that feeling of overjoyed, or he was really sad, and he just thought to himself that this shouldn't happen, or why did it happen. And he was really you know that disappointment of letting their fans down in those crucial moments. What happened to Kobe Bryant? The next day, at maybe 3 a.m., near his home, there was a basketball court which they call gym in basketball terms. So he went out to the gym, the janitor just let him in, and he shot shots all day long. This is the way Kobe Bryant found, to let out his disappointments out, and he always wanted to visualize what he wanted to do, and this airball is not going to define his career. Even though there were medias writing him off, he was never going away. He's always going to come back stronger. So now what did Kobe Bryant do? Kobe Bryant, he practiced all day long, and he cried, and everything is fine. Now it's time to come back to business. What did he do? He looked at the game. He looked at the specific shots which was air ball that he had done. 4 to 5 air balls that he had played, and that cost the match. But he understood the positive in that air ball. What was that? Every shot was online. This is what he explained in one of the interviews. So he shot those air balls, but all the shots were online, but every shot was shot, which means that he has to understand why the air ball shot was really short, that it couldn't reach to the basket. He understood that his legs weren't strong enough to eventually get to that basket. So his weightlifting program, the training and everything that he had to do, he understood that it was not enough for him, and what he did the next season was amazing. He tailored it to an 82 game season. So NBA games, that it's back to back to back to back. So he had to prepare for that, and his legs were stronger because he had trained specifically so that the ball gets there the next time, and it eventually got there. And look at his career. He played for 20 years for just one organization. Can you believe it? He has only played for one organization, the Lakers. So this is Kobe Bryant's story. Why did I tell you this story? See, he was a child. He cried. He went out and he let out his disappointments by just shooting all day long. All that is fine, but he understood these two are not just enough to come back. He has to look in to the smallest of the details on what went right and what went wrong. How can he play better the next time, and how can he make those weaknesses into strengths and all these things. This is Kobe Bryant. Let me tell you another example. This is very this is really, you would be able to understand this real better. So you have this person called Tim Grover. You guys know him. He's one of the famous person in the basketball industry and also in the sports industry, because he has trained Michael Jordan 15 years. Just imagine. And then he also trained Kobe Bryant, and he was there when they actually won the championships. So when Tim Grover said in one of the interview and why people have to look into the smallest of the details, it is key, because he explained in one of in all the games that Michael Jordan played late, there wasn't this technology. So what he had to do is he will go out and watch all the games that Michael Jordan played. He would record those specific matches. Once the match is over, he's gonna go back to his room and play that several times and take notes. you know what he's going to do? He's going to see whether Michael Jordan moved left or right. The more the Michael Jordan moved left in a particular match, the next day the training will be more on his right side of the body, so that it is a balanced workout, and there would be minimum workout for the left part, because he had moved so many times, and he would also count down each step that Michael Jordan moved. Why should a trainer do all these things? If Michael Jordan is obsessive and he is dedicated to his game, Tim Grover did the same as well. And that is why he was able to go and be along with and carry that legacy forward of the one of the greatest or the greatest players of all time, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Why am I telling you all these things? I know that you are having a great dream, but you need to look into the smallest of the details. Today I have taken 2 examples and I have given you the story as well. What am I trying to accomplish from this episode? I want you guys to take this to your heart, to get back and reflect on this episode and see what are the smallest of the details that you are missing. Are you looking into those things? Why this is working out, why this isn't working out, and looking forward, always have that mindset. So this is what I really wanted to talk about in today's episode, and I hope that I have delivered it. It is key to go back and reflect on these episodes. Before watching this episode, it would be better if you're going to watch this again, watch my previous episode and then come back to this episode, and you would understand why the smallest of the details matters to get the job done. So with that being said, I just wish that you would go out and achieve your dream, and this episodes that you're listening is helping you in some way or the other to make sure that you are going to achieve your dream no matter what, and that really matters to us. So if you have any comments, you can comment below in the comment section if you're watching it on YouTube. If you're listening to any of the podcast streams, you can always write an email to us. It's called 4am talks podcast office @gmail.com. So with that being said, I wish you good luck, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next episode. And just before that, I would like to say that the next episodes, the next week is going to be really a crucial week for us, because the topics that we are going to bring you is going to be really intense. We have talked about dreams, and we have to dive in deep to understand the purpose of your life and the dream that you're going after, because in that way what I'm going to do is you will understand yourself better. That is the most important thing. Going after your dream is secondary, but understanding yourself is the most important thing. If you understand that, then everything becomes aligned, and your path, the vision will be clear. Once your vision is clear, you would go out and do it anyways. If you're having that mindset, having that willpower, having that persistence, having that curiosity, having the eagerness to learn, and always having that attitude of never giving up, which I talked about in the previous episode, and also how badly you want it. So with all that being said, I wish you good luck, and I'll see you in the next episode. See you guys. Bye.